Eccoci qui, siamo di fronte a questo istituto nato nel 1988 che si occupa dello studio dell'asma e delle allergie, dei problemi di salute che colpiscono sempre più persone nel nostro mondo moderno. Che dici, Michele? Anche tu soffri ogni tanto di asma e allergia? E allora è il posto perfetto per noi. Andiamo. We pretend to be scientists today.
Our main research is focusing on understanding of the molecular mechanisms, cellular mechanisms, and how so many diseases are happening. Currently, 1 out of 4 people have one kind of a chronic disease, like allergies affecting about 10 to 20% of the population, atopic dermatitis about 10% of the population, allergic rhinitis 20% of the population in Switzerland. This is the BSL-2 laboratory.
How many female scientists are working here? Do you know?
Around 65% is female. So
It's
our
a
gender
high
balance
percent.
is perfect. Karl Turban was the first doctor who initiated high-altitude research. So he was interested that there are so many patients coming to high altitude to the sanatoriums, and around 1903 he established the Tuberculosis Research Institute. And Alexander Spengler is the person who initiated high-altitude treatment in 1850s. So he brought the high-altitude treatment to Davos, and he established it also in the world. And many centers followed on the Alps, also in Denver, Colorado. High-altitude treatment was followed in the right way because tuberculosis patients, when they were coming here, Alexander Spengler realized that they are healing, they are getting better. High altitude has an effect. The first one is the environment is very healthy here. There is not much pollution. There is almost very few house dust mite. There is no pollens that make inflammation in the lungs. So the air quality is amazingly good compared to an inner city. The second thing, in our molecular research, we understood that there are cells which are developing to keep the inflammation at the low level, are increasing in the body in high altitude, and they make the inflammation in the lungs because of tuberculosis at the low level. So the patients do not get so sick, and the treatment works to kill the mycobacteria in a better way.
Kannst du uns erzählen, was passiert hier?
Also das hier ist ein Massenspektrometer und der misst Proteine. Aus den Daten können wir dann bestimmen, was für Proteine hat es in einer Probe, welche Proteine ändern sich in bestimmten Bedingungen, was ändert sich, wenn Leute krank sind. Meine Proteine sind so diejenigen Teile in der Zelle, die dafür verantwortlich sind, dass alles funktioniert. Also das sind so die Workhorses in der Zelle. Also wenn wir uns die Proteine anschauen, können wir immer sehen, was genau passiert. Das Ding kostet 1,4 Millionen.
Wow!
Das ist die Vorschrift in Labors.
Ja.
Unten im Chemikalienraum hat es genug Chemikalien, um die halbe Schweiz zu vergiften.
Ja.
Und bei dieser Dusche, also wenn ich jetzt mich mit Säure oder Base oder irgendwas bekleckere im Unfall, dann kann ich hier drunter. Wir kommen nicht am Morgen und duschen.
Ja.
These are small 3 mm lungs. They are in culture. can see the cells and the small, this is the small lung.
And where do you take these tissues from?
From human biopsies, you grow the cells and then you make them like like a lung here.
Okay, so you can create them from biopsy here.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, the concept of toxicity has changed. Before, they were looking if the mouse are dying or not.
Yeah.
They are calculating the lethal dose. Currently, we can calculate the molecular toxicity dose. That's what we are doing now. We are not looking at death only, we are looking at disease, with what's happening, what is taking place. Molecular changes, metabolic changes of the cell, and if the cell is going into the direction of a disease, and we can understand this very early. After 1960s, there was 350,000 chemical molecules were introduced to our lives. And this is a high number. Exposure to chemicals, detergents, or air pollution, or food additives and ingredients, they are all affecting our lives badly because they are changing the character of our cells. So we are talking about climate change in the nature, and we are also working on climate change inside our body because there's a climate change of our cells.